what I want you to ask yourself is, what is level design? That's what I've been figuring out for the last 2 weeks. So the first thing you want to do is create a level layout so it represents a map and a one truth to what you're going to be creating. Next, you're going to want to build a level. You could do this in chunks just in case you're loading the game by chunks or just loading it all at once. But I prefer to focus on the chunks so I can make different corridors and different small areas for like items and lore. Now to go more in depth with the level, you're going to hear my keyboard. I do apologize. But what we do is to create it from the start. So as you can see here, I don't have the artifact anymore actually, but instead I can pick it up. I can pick it up and now I have it in my hand and holding it. That's the first mechanic that I fixed to make this level design possible. Next, I would, as you know, go normally into here. I would finish the mini game.
10 minutes later.
But finished it. Okay, that's fair. But finish the mini game, I get a speed boost. And then I'd have to go around and explore the map again. Now, the only thing that I understand is that level design is an opinion. It's completely based on what the player feels from the creator's game. So the same way you're seeing me fight this boss is the same way you gotta make your player feel inside of your level. But how do you do this? You just gotta play your own game. But how did I do this? The same thing. So when I was finished creating my level, the things I had to notice was that I had no gameplay, I had no entity, I had no way of the character unlocking anything. So these were the first 3 things that I needed to get done to finish a full level. So I want to go ahead and mention first what I tried to do the first time, and that was creating an inventory and item system. Now this is a separate struct from the actual player and the actual game itself. That way it can be its own thing. What I attempted to do this time was actually add a pool allocator for the items, so that way they could be held in together. Now the problem that I figured out with this was that in a pool allocator, every single struct or byte or type of data you put into it is actually the same exact thing. So if you have 10 different items, you're gonna pick up your 11th item will randomly get erased. So that's why I couldn't use it here in the inventory as a way to store items. So instead, what I did was I took the struct vector for the items and put it into the player, which is where the items are now being held, aka the inventory. This is where we specifically hold the artifact inside of a null pointer because it's its own object, and then we also hold the interactable object pointers for any object you collect inside of the map into the player inventory. Artifact mode, the current minigame being played, and the artifact unlock. Specifically for the artifact, we have to check if it is on the player, so that way it doesn't get updated randomly. We would update the artifact with the player data, and that's how we got the interactions and updates beforehand. We would continue with the interaction system, the scene. We will update the artifact mode. We'd also have the input system for setting the minigame and activating it. It's also like you can have your main object on the player, but it's not going to be affected by anything else. So the question is, why is the artifact a null pointer? Because what we have now is a full-on interaction type. When you interact with the object, you're going to be able to check with the interaction type to see which one you'll activate. There's the mini game, there's the unlocked, which is specific for player data or any type of data, and then this is going to be for the item. Now going here first, activate mini game, we will either bypass it or we will have it just check if the artifact is unlocked and the interactable value, and then we'll just play the mini game as normal. Now another thing to consider, the actual running mini game. This is going to be for like different animations that will happen in the future, but we're just keeping it for now. Next option that we actually have is the unlock function. So yes, we'll just keep it as unlock for the moment. So that way it would actually unlock specific data types that will be loaded. What it does is that whenever the player automatically unlocks a function, it's going to set the max, aka the artifact unlock, to either the unlock, which could be like if the player is level 4, and if interact value is level 2, then it will just stick at level 4. we have to check if the artifact is there. So if it's not there, we just create the artifact. This will be a new game object, artifact. And for like animation reasons, what we do is we just set the gravity to 0. We set the angular velocity to rotation, so like a specific rotation speed. And then we actually lock that with angular velocity. So that way it can constantly rotate and it's not affected by anything else. One thing specific with the artifact is this string model. What's happening here is that we have the Rubik's Cube, and then we also have player artifact unlocked. So that whenever I do load up the Rubik's Cube as an item, it's gonna automatically put it as that artifact. Because if you see right here, it only has specifically 6 types of Rubik's Cube for the 6 different stages. Now the same thing goes into the else function too, just in case the player already has the artifact.
One beauty nap later.
So the time is currently 6:45 a.m. in the morning. I just checked on the map and I deleted it. I reversed it. I still gotta check my laptop to see if I have an extra copy, but if I don't, that sucks. Anyways, thank you for watching the video. That's how I got the level design down and learn how to do the actual game mechanic. So what's up for next? I am gonna try to implement the AI entity. It's gonna take longer, but also I got a lot of bug fixes inside of this project that I also need to handle. So peace, I'll catch y'all later.